Hey everyone, Scott with the Scottman. We are here to do a driving video today. We're about to head south on I-75. I just got off of I-94 now, and I don't see anybody coming, so that's good. And we're going to be doing a long video today, because what we're going to be doing this time is, because as you already know, or you might know, I have filmed the entirety of I-75 going north, so now we're going to go south. And I'm so glad I am, because look how bad the traffic is going north. It is bumper to bumper, heading up toward like the northern parts of Detroit, going up to like toward like Hazel Park, Royal Oak, Mazin Heights, Troy, that area. Yeah, it is a beautiful day out today. Although there is, looks like a little bit of a storm off to the south of here, going down toward like into Ontario, but thankfully where we're driving today we should not be running any thunderstorms. I think I do need to get over though. So this is gonna be a long one, because we're starting up at I-94 and we're gonna be going through downtown Detroit, and we're gonna go all the way down to where Michigan borders Ohio. So we're in for a long one today. So if I refer these southbound 75 videos, I'm thinking of making these a little bit longer. I think I do need to get over. So I think, if I remember, I think it's only a single lane that continues on I-75. Because if we were to continue straight, that becomes I-375. Although it wouldn't surprise you if years down the road, if they get rid of I-375 altogether, make it like just a boulevard with intersections or something. Okay, no, it's 2 lanes. So this is where I-75 then comes off the Chrysler Freeway and joins the Fisher Freeway as it goes right along downtown Detroit. Gets to the left, you have Ford Field and, of course, Comerica Park, home to the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Tigers, respectively. Because yeah, you can see all the different parking garages for the venues. And then you can't really see it from here, but off to the right, yeah, we're going under Woodward right now. Off to the right, again, you can't see it, but that's where Little Caesars Arena is, home to the Detroit Red Wings and the Detroit Pistons. So yeah, but anyway, so it's pretty sunny out today. Current thermometer is reading 83 degrees Fahrenheit, which convert that to Celsius, it's counting around 28 degrees. So it is a hot one for May. And this is the exit for the Lodge Freeway, which the Lodge Freeway also takes you into downtown Detroit. Takes you as you go under the tunnel underneath, I forgot what it's called. It used to be called Cobo Hall, and then it used to be called the TCF Center. I think it's like Huntington Place or something. I can't remember the name, but after you go under that, then you see the Renaissance Center. And of course, take the Lodge Freeway north, that'll take you all the way up to Southfield. And yeah, right now we're just going by the Corktown neighborhood of Detroit, which is off to the left. And yeah, you get off the Rosa Parks Boulevard, then make a left, that'll take you over to take you into Corktown. And then, yep, over here we got the exit for I-96, which I-96 is the main freeway, which goes, or not main freeway, but it's a major freeway which runs just within the state of Michigan. Because it starts off around here, around I-75, and it goes all the way to Muskegon, Michigan. So if you're looking to go out to Grand Rapids, yeah, I-96 is the freeway to take. And yeah, we're about to enter a work zone as well, although this one will not have bumper-to-bumper traffic, thankfully. And yeah, up ahead you can see the Ambassador Bridge. Well, not this immediate bridge here for Verner Highway going over toward Mexican Town, but the one off in the distance, yeah. And then of course the exit here, you got the Ambassador Bridge, and that's currently the only bridge crossing over to Canada in the Detroit area. There's also the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, but that, of course, goes underneath the Detroit River. You gotta be careful. I don't know if this is gonna get down to one lane or something. Oh, I can get over now. And of course, to get over to Canada too, you can also go up I-94 over to Port Huron and go over the Blue Water Bridge. And then what they're doing right now, that's why you're seeing all the road work here, is that they're building the Gordie Howe International Bridge, which is going to be the newest bridge crossing going over into Canada. Which will provide a more, I'd say probably a better access over to Canada, because it's going to be a freeway to freeway connection. Because you'll have the exit ramps at some point for the new Gordie Howe Bridge coming off of I-75, and then it'll go all the way across the Detroit River, and it'll connect straight over to the 401, making truckers' lives much easier as they go from the Detroit area over to Toronto, or even potentially to Montreal. But yeah, I'm not really sure when the bridge is going to be complete. But it'll be really cool to drive over it though once it is complete. Because yeah, I haven't been back over to Canada since 2019 when I went to Toronto. Just because of back during the pandemic, the border was closed for non-essential tourism, and then it reopened back, I think it was like August or September 2021. I just haven't gone over yet. I do have a good friend of mine who lives in the Toronto area we'd like to meet up with again at some point. Maybe in Windsor or something, meet like halfway, although technically Windsor's closer to me than it is to him. So yeah, with this video, it's like I wanted to start the video a little earlier than, let's say, at 375 or I-96, just so that way we could see going into downtown Detroit. But for the rest of this video, this is pretty much the stretch of I-75 which goes between Detroit and Toledo. Go ahead and get around this truck. Yeah, let's just say there's a lot of heavy truck traffic when you go on I-75, especially going southwest out of Detroit. I just felt a little tickle in my nose just now, but it just went away, so I don't feel like I have to sneeze anymore. Speaking of nose, yeah, it's really nice that spring is in full bloom now. So right now we are going over I think this is the Rouge River Bridge or River Rouge Bridge. I think that's what it's called, or it might be Rouge River Bridge. If not, it's just the bridge going over the Rouge River. This is one of the two big bridges, well, 4 big bridges I-75 travels over in the state of Michigan. Because we're going over the Rouge River right now, and of course we got all this huge industrial park over in this area. And of course, further north on 75, you go over the Zilwaukee Bridge north of Saginaw. And then, of course, the famous Mackinac Bridge connecting the two peninsulas. And then the International Bridge going over to Canada once again, but up in Sault Ste. Marie. Although if you're going over to Canada up there, you're probably, I'd say, more going to either Sudbury or if you want to go like along the north side of Lake Superior, going west toward like Thunder Bay, or even further west toward like Manitoba. Okay, yeah, it's like I was wondering what the roadwork's all about. It looks like it's over on Schaefer. But yeah, it feels like it's July today, just because the temperatures we're seeing today, or the overall weather, this is what we typically see in July. But I'll gladly take this over snow because just a few weeks ago here it snowed, like right after Easter. Thankfully, I was over in England during the snowstorm that fell here. Although it was only like maybe like 2 or 3 inches, but still, it's like I don't like to see snow in springtime. It's just really out of place. Alright, so we're now entering Lincoln Park. We're now getting into the southern suburbs of Detroit, which is pretty much all what's called the Downriver communities. It's called Downriver because it's going downriver along the Detroit River as it heads down toward Lake Erie. And then, yeah, up here is the exit for Southfield Road. Which, yeah, if you want to go to Lincoln Park as well as Allen Park, yeah, you want to get off at Southfield Road. Because, yeah, Allen Park is a little bit more to the west of here. It's already the middle of May already. 2022, I'd say, has been going by a lot quicker than, especially the past couple years. Because, yeah, it's like, especially in the first half of 2020 and 2021, like back during the pandemic, it's like there are times where it did not fly by that quickly, where this time it really has been. Of course, a big factor into that was the fact that I did go down to Houston, Texas for a couple weeks at the very end of 2021, the start of 2022, and then, of course, my trip to England last month. Yeah, we got another work zone coming up here. Oh, it looks like, yeah, we're going to Allen Park after all along I-75, just like probably like the eastern end of it. But yeah, with the weather getting a lot warmer, that means a lot of road work is happening. So I'm sure this probably bogs down significantly during rush hour traffic. Thankfully, I'm filming this on a Saturday, so this shouldn't be too bad. I do feel like, however, that, or at least I know that there's a lot more. I think a lot more people live in like the northern and the western suburbs than they do, like, say, in the downriver communities. Because I know the Detroit River pretty much carves its way through the southern suburbs. But yeah, this is rare. It's like people are believe it or not, are driving the road construction speed limit. Which normally, that's here in Michigan, that's unheard of, because everybody's still going like 75, 80 miles per hour at least in a construction zone. Which that is really interesting. One interesting thing I did see when I was driving over in England compared to here in Michigan, where when you're in a construction zone, 8 to 9 times out of 10, people are driving well over the speed limit. Even in a work zone. Where in England, it's like what I noticed, it's almost the inverse, where, yeah, you still see some people driving well over the speed limit, but most people tend to be driving around the speed limit. Which I found that very interesting. I don't know, it's just a coincidence, and because of the motorways I drove on over there. But yeah, it's hard to say though, but it is really interesting though with how people drive over there compared to over here. It's like, yeah, sure, England might speak English like we do, although some words that are different than others, or specific words that we say here. If you say the same word over there, it means it's something completely different. Like, for example, and this is a longer construction area than I thought. So yeah, we're in a pretty busy area of Downriver right now. It's like we just passed the exit for North Line Road. This is Eureka Road. If we're gonna go west on Eureka Road, that'll take you out toward Detroit Metro Airport. Yeah, now people are starting to drive faster in this area. So I think this is Southgate, if I'm not mistaken, where we are right now. Anyway, so I was trying to say, it's like, yeah, there could be a word in English that means one thing here in the United States and another in the United Kingdom. Like, for example, there is the word chip or chips. Here in the United States, you think potato chips, like a bag of Lay's potato chips, or like Ruffles, or Sun Chips, or like a lot of those different types of potato chips. Or over in the United Kingdom, chips are basically referred to as French fries or fries. That's why you hear the term fish and chips when you go to a restaurant. Even here in the United States, it's fish and chips, just because it's what it's called over in England or the rest of the United Kingdom, not just England. So back there, back to the discussion in a second. Back there, that's a little interchange for that connector over to Telegraph Road or US Highway 24. However, there's no direct access to that if you're going south. It's more a thing if you're going north. So yeah, now we're starting to get more into like the Woodhaven and Riverview area. Oh, looks like this is the end of the work zone. So you're thinking, so what do they call potato chips over in Britain? They're called crisps. So you'll hear the term potato crisps instead of potato chips. Although the weird thing is, I went to a restaurant in Holmfirth, England, and they call French fries fries, which was rather interesting. And there's other words too. I'm not gonna really say them because I try to keep my YouTube channel PG, but there is one term that you can use here that's pretty innocent here. But if you use it over in the United Kingdom, it means something a little bit more inappropriate. Or let's just say it's not something you want to say to your grandmother. I guess I'll give you a big hint, because here in the United States, the term where you use the word, it's like, let's just say, like, I'm sure here in the United States you've heard of what a fanny pack is. It's where over in the United Kingdom it's called a bum bag, where it's like it's like a bag you wear around your waist and you can keep things in it. So let's just say, because again, I want to keep this channel PG. Oh yeah, this is the exit for West Road. This is a big shopping area in the Downriver area. A lot of shopping areas off to the east between here and Allen Road. So let's just say, if you go over to the United Kingdom wearing a fanny pack, I would highly suggest you call it bum bag and not fanny pack. Otherwise, I don't know, because it's called, if you were to use the term fanny pack over there, people will look at you really funny because it means something a little bit different. thing too is, again, like I already used the term earlier, it's like freeways are called motorways over the United Kingdom. Although they're kind of the same thing. They're called expressways, for example. And yeah, coming up to our right, we'll have one of the automotive plants for Ford. I'm not sure how well it'll come out in the video, but yeah, on the other side of those big power lines you see on the right, you'll see the sign for Ford. So that's one of the plants for automotive plants for Ford. So over here, yeah, it's like now we're starting to get out of Metro Detroit. So for the rest of this video, we're pretty much going to be mostly in the, I don't want to say the country because we still got an automotive plant off to the right, but we're not going to be like in the suburbs anymore. Although if you get off here at Gibraltar Road, go east, I'll take you into the town of Gibraltar, or city of Gibraltar. Excuse me. But yeah, I just had a hiccup because I had lunch just before filming this video. So I'm currently filming another like a restaurant revisit tour, like 3 restaurants I previously covered and Travel the Lights videos a long time ago. I want to go back to see how things are like these days, so because I went to Slo's Barbecue quite a few years ago, so I wanted to go back and revisit it to get some delicious barbecue, and it was really good. Like they had like beef brisket enchiladas as specials today, and those were fantastic, I have to say. So we're now entering the city of Rockwood. You could technically consider Rockwood be a part of, or even Flat Rock, which is further to the west over by Telegraph Road. You could even consider this to be Metro Detroit still, like, or still like the suburbs, but probably more like the outskirts. Okay, so 12 miles to go until Monroe, which is just a small city between the Metro Detroit area and Toledo, and then I think I saw 36 miles to Toledo. Although the border for Michigan, Ohio is going to be before that because Toledo is a little bit further into the state of Ohio. And once again, another work zone. Welcome to Michigan, my friends. And we just went over the Huron River and we're entering Monroe County. Man, it's like, are they getting lazy or something? There's quite a few cones were laying down on the freeway, and we have not had like gusty winds or anything recently. But then again, anything's possible. This is Michigan after all. Okay, looks like we're at the end of the work zone. And yeah, I think everybody's saying we're here because I see someone pulled over a bit. They're probably going like 80 miles per hour in that work zone or something. So it's like, yeah, you gotta be careful if you're going above the speed limit in a work zone because fines are doubled. So let's just say if you normally would get like a $250 fine or you're speeding on the freeway going like 15 over or something, it's gonna be double that. So it's like, yeah, you gotta be really careful when you're in a work zone. Because after all, when you're driving in a work zone, you gotta be careful when there are workers in the work zone because that's their job and you don't want to hit them or run them over. Because that is just totally wrong. get home from work at the end of the day, they do too, because they got families to raise, bills to pay, and lives to live. And you feel terrible if you ran over a construction worker and the workers' poor kids have to find out that either their mommy or daddy passed away because someone drove way too fast in a work zone and they accidentally hit a construction worker. So yeah, when you go run through a construction zone, be very careful. And yeah, make sure to slow down too when workers are present. Yeah, I'm starting to see some clouds off to the west. Like, looks like, I don't want to say storm clouds just yet, but they could easily turn into them. Is it? But yeah, even if they're becoming storm clouds or something, we should avoid rain or thunderstorms in this video because they're well off to the west, but you never know. That's why I keep saying in these videos, this, especially in Michigan, this is Michigan. You never know what the weather's going to be 1 minute from now. But yeah, is this like the 4th or the 5th work zone I've driven through in this video? For a while and I've not had a sip of water yet, so I should probably do that. So for where we are right now, we got like another 21, 22 miles left to go until we get to the state line. Which, yeah, I was originally not planning to do southbound I-75, but it's like, why not do that? Because that way you get a different perspective of I-75, and as a matter of fact, too, I even filmed a video on I-75 going south through Toledo. So doing this video would make a lot of sense. What I might do though is I may consider filming up to the next exit, or the first exit in Ohio, which is Alexis Rd. Because it's just like not even a mile across the state line, so I might do that. Okay, so yeah, this work zone does not look like it was that long. So right here, we're coming to the interchange for I-275, which I-275 goes through the western suburbs of Metro Detroit, and of course coming down here into Monroe County. And I-275 is one of the main freeways which goes right by Detroit Metro Airport. So if you go north on I-275, they'll take you up to Metro Airport, then it'll take you up to like the Plymouth and Canton area, Westland, and eventually up to Northville, Farmington Hills, and Novi. Part of I-75 in a while, just because, well, I haven't gone down to Ohio in a while. The last time I have, I think that was when I was coming back up from Texas, and I think I took 23 going back. Frenchtown Charter Township here. So we're getting to like the northeastern parts of Monroe. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I know there's at least 2 power plants off in this area. Like you got the nuclear power plant way out to the left of here. You can't see it because it's a few miles to the east of here, but it's like, yeah, it's the Fermi 2 power station. If you're to drive down Dixie Highway, you'd get a much better view of the power plant over there. Although if you were to drive more so the other direction, you can see the cooling towers way off in the distance. And then it got also off in the distance, way out to the left, but we're not going by it just yet. You might be able to see a little bit better in a little bit, is the coal power plant that's down near Monroe. However, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was going to be decommissioned sometime in the near future, like in the coming years, as the state of Michigan starts to move away from like coal energy. Video, we got another couple weekends from now. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend, and unless the weather ends up being really bad to where I end up having to cancel the trip, I'm planning to do a trip down to Pittsburgh. So I've only been to Pittsburgh once, and it was just for a couple hours. So when I went there, I only had time to stop at Point State Park, which is where the 3 rivers, like the Ohio River, the Monongahela, and the Allegheny Rivers all meet up. But planning to make like a weekend, like a long weekend trip out of it, so that way I get to see more of Pittsburgh. Won't be able to go to any sporting events there just because I saw the Pittsburgh Pirates aren't playing there right now, and I don't think they're doing too well this year either, although they're doing better than the Tigers. Which, as I'm filming this video, the Detroit Tigers are absolutely terrible. Well, so hopefully things change a little bit better, or change for the better. Although I know the Pittsburgh Penguins, the hockey team down in Pittsburgh, they're in the playoffs right now, but they could possibly lose Game 7 tomorrow night to the New York Rangers. But if they don't, then they'll move on to the next round, and you never know. Although I don't see me going to a Penguins game if they were to continue on in the playoffs, because prices would be really expensive. And of course, Sidney Crosby is a big-time legend when it comes to NHL players. So, and this is the exit for Dixie Highway. If you get off there, that'll take you kind of in the direction toward Monroe. Out to the west, yeah, there should not be any storms in this video, which is good, because I saw the storm trends for today, so I was a little concerned that I was going to be driving through a big thunderstorm with torrential downpours, but thankfully that's not the case. And yeah, now we're entering the city limits for Monroe. Exit up ahead, that'll also take you into Monroe, and off a little ways to the right, like past that marshland, you also have the River Raisin National Battlefield Park, which was where the Battle of Frenchtown took place back during the War of 1812, near the beginning of the war. And yeah, right now we're going over the River Raisin. And yeah, if you saw the smokestacks a few minutes ago, I forgot to point them out, but yeah, that's the coal power plant I was talking about earlier. Detroit down to Toledo, to the Toledo area on this side of Lake Erie and the Detroit River, and also over on the Canadian side. It's a big area for War of 1812 history, because a lot of the early battles of the War of 1812 were fought over here. And also, of course, over at Fort Malden over in Amherstburg in Ontario. It's really cool to go to both places. That way you can see the different viewpoints of the war from the American point of view and also the British point of view. I say British because back in 1812, Canada was under the control of the United Kingdom. But it's really interesting though, like over the course of history, how the United States and the United Kingdom once were pretty big enemies at first. Well, heck, the United States fought a war against Britain to win their independence, because when the United States declared independence and they signed the Declaration of Independence back in July of 1776, the United Kingdom was not really happy about that, so they end up, so of course, although it started before that, the United States and the United Kingdom went to war against each other, and of course, and then they went to war again in 1812. And of course, that war lasted at least a couple of years or so. And then pretty much, but since then, the United States and the United Kingdom, which is good news, is that they've been really close friends, but it's like when it comes to father and son, or father and daughter, or mother and daughter, or like parent to child, that's how you can view the relationship. Like, they get along very, very closely, but there can always be a dispute every once in a while, although the United States and the United Kingdom thankfully get along very well together. Which is good, because the United Kingdom is a wonderful place to visit. Because I've been over there twice, and I absolutely love going over there. That's the thing with history. It's like you gotta learn history so that way you don't repeat history. Unless it's good history. Like, if it's good stuff, you might want to repeat good stuff. Or actually, you do want to repeat good stuff. But you learn about the bad events too, things that were not so great. Which is another reason why you do not want to erase history. Because if you erase history, you're going to repeat it. Although it's like, yeah, the interesting thing is, yeah, back when I was back in like middle school or high school, it's like, I was not a fan of the way that a lot of teachers taught social studies or history. Because learning about history is more than just memorizing dates and knowing something happened in this year, something happened in this date, or the first president of the United States was George Washington. See, it's like it's like when you're teaching history, disclaimer, I am not a history teacher, so don't quote me on a lot of this stuff, so this is just my opinion. But it's like when it comes to history, you gotta learn more than just dates and memorizing things. See, it's like you got to learn about history, and of course it's like you gotta ask yourself the general 5 questions: who, what, where, when, why, and also how. So 6 questions. So like we're a particular event. It's like, let's take World War I, for example. World War I was a horrifically devastating war, which took place all around the world, especially in Europe, during the 1910s. It is something you do not like, something you need to learn from, so that way you don't repeat that. Unfortunately, they did not learn their lesson, and look what happened. World War II happened in 1939 and 1945. I, for example, it's like it's more than just knowing. Yeah, sure, it's important to know specific dates, like when World War I started, or when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Sarajevo. In Sarajevo, it's like that's important to know too. But it's like you got to go more than just the key dates and the key facts. You got to know why something happened, or why certain countries or certain people reacted the way they did, or and of course going even further back, analyzing specific events that could have led the way to something happening. That's the important part, because if you look at why something happened and how people tried to find ways to overcome the problem, although a lot of cases, especially in the case of World War I, they took way too long. It should not have gone up. Well, technically it should not have happened in the first place, but it could have been shortened a lot more. Because like with war, for example, war is never the answer. Or not just past wars, but also like major events too. It's like, yeah, even like the civil rights movement. It's like segregation is completely wrong, and it's like you learn from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and what he's contributed to the civil rights movement, or like Rosa Parks and many of those things, to try to make America a much better place for not just African Americans and Black Americans, but for everybody, because we all need to be treated equally and fairly. And unfortunately, like, there's still some bad situations today. It's like, look what happened 2 years ago when George Floyd was killed by the police officers. Like, that was just completely wrong. But it's like, pay attention in history class and make sure that your history teacher is teaching it right, and not just all he or she's doing is telling you just to read the chapter and answer the questions at the end of the text, at the end of the chapter, and memorize dates. You're not going to learn that way. That's why I really enjoyed some of the history classes I took at Oakland University, because it went beyond just learning dates and key facts. You got to analyze different historical events that happened in the past, and from that you get a true analysis of why something happened and how and what you can do to prevent that from happening, something bad from happening in the future. It's like, I could go on a big discussion about this, or even there could be debates about this, but I've been going off on a tangent in this video, especially in the past several minutes, because we passed by the exit for like Luna Pier, Erie, LaSalle, all the different communities between Monroe and Ohio. It's like you almost could consider these suburbs of Toledo, even. So, and here is the exit for Summit Road, I think Summit Road. Yep, Summit Street. And this is the last exit before you cross over into the state of Ohio. And Summit Street will take you into Ohio as well, too. What's really cool, too, I haven't been to it yet, but over in the far eastern part of Toledo, going over close to like Lake Erie, there's even a little peninsula that goes back up into Michigan that you can only get to from Ohio. Oh yeah, my gas tank is getting a little low. I'm like just a little under quarter of a tank. So right after this video, I need to get off at Alexis Rd anyway because there's a gas station I can stop at. So I should probably go over to the right lane because I'll be getting off in a little while. But yeah, I'm glad I filmed this video because now I, of course, get to see some cool sights along the way, but of course, go off onto some different tangents talking about different cool things. Alright, so we're going to be getting ready to cross into the state of Ohio in less than half a minute, or about half a minute. See him from the video, but I saw a couple kayakers in that creek over there. Alright, and we are now entering the state of Ohio. So welcome to Ohio and the city of Toledo. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this driving video here on I-75 South, going from I-94 in Detroit, Michigan, going all the way down to State Route 184 or Alexis Rd here in Toledo, Ohio. So if you enjoy this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. The storm clouds are looking like they're getting a little closer, but not too bad. Anyway, well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman, signing out from Toledo, Ohio.